her. She is CEO of the Parkinson's Disease and Movement Disorder Society in India, and her topic is Reaching the Unreached, Challenges and Triumphs.
So here I am again. Reaching the Unreached would be far from an apt title for a health program in Mumbai, the financial capital of India. However, with reference to Parkinson's disease, that was the reality. Dr. B.S. Singhal, a practicing neurologist for over 50 years, having worked in both government and the private hospital, recognized the need to establish a society for Parkinson's, as in his experience, the overburdened healthcare system resulted in most people with Parkinson's only being diagnosed, no education, information, no rehabilitation. A situational analysis was the first step, and we were faced with challenging issues from every stakeholder, despondency and lack of motivation from people with Parkinson's that stemmed from their want of understanding of the condition, skepticism from a majority of the medical and allied health professionals who were already overburdened and questioned if any program could impact the quality of their life, no government programs, and lack of interest from any kind of financial sponsor. This analysis provided us with the information on which to base our strategy and develop a program to meet the unmet needs of people with Parkinson's. The intervention had to be a combination of education and multidisciplinary therapy, a strategy through which the program had to be delivered through a group therapy format to make it cost-effective and increase the reach. And to make it accessible, it had to be at a location close to their homes, as commuting in Mumbai is a challenge, and with Parkinson's, an impossibility. We needed to develop a model of care that was evidence-based, could be documented, and enabled replication. We designed the model with practical and theoretical input from neurologists and allied health professionals, and input from people with Parkinson's and their caregivers who precisely defined their needs and expectations from the program. The program focused on education and multidisciplinary therapy. To increase the reach required networking, raising awareness about Parkinson's in each identified location, and the development and training of human resources. What started as one center in Mumbai has grown to 16 in Mumbai, 5 in the state that we come from, and currently we have expanded to 5 states in our country. Mumbai is home to one of the largest urban slums with approximately 1 million people. Our next program was to reach out to people living in these areas. In these communities, people were not even aware that they had a neurological condition. Healthcare they accessed was through a primary health center, which focused on contagious and communicable diseases. There was no neurologist. The project therefore required us to begin at grassroots level, to identify and develop resources. We were faced with the reality that the only people who would be accepted to deliver in these communities would be people living in the same community. Additionally, to find people who would be willing to work in an urban slum posed a different challenge. We partnered with an organization, Neurology Foundation, who provided advice, expertise, And the only condition was that we should include other neurological conditions in the process, which they would take over, treat, and rehabilitate. A group of community health volunteers who worked part-time on government polio eradication programs indicated willingness to be trained and deliver the program. The only qualification we required was a high school education and willingness to train and work. The three main objectives were teaching them about Parkinson's disease, teaching them to conduct door-to-door identification surveys, and teaching them simple techniques for rehabilitation. Some of the training strategies we used was we taught them in their local language. We used teaching aids that were primarily pictures and videos, and a combination of theory and practical sessions. There were three main phases of the program. First, sensitization of the community. We had street plays done in the community, awareness programs in the community, and a door-to-door survey to identify people with Parkinson's. The next phase were medical camps, which were conducted in the community by neurologists to diagnose those identified by the community workers and to prescribe medication. Our greatest moment was when the neurologists who attended the camp informed us that 90% of the identification done by the community workers was in the right direction. And these were community workers just with a high school education and training. The third phase was the treatment and rehabilitation program. Rehabilitation centers were set up in the community, organized by the community workers and supervised by our therapists. This included group therapy and visits to the homebound. Given the limitations of our country for programs and projects, the objective of the Parkinson's Society was to use its expertise and experience to adapt the program for other underserved communities. This would include delivery of the multidisciplinary model and the simultaneous networking to identify organizations that would either incorporate this program in their existing projects or find individuals or foundations to adapt the program. We therefore undertook two projects, one in rural areas and one in a tribal area. The rural project in a place called Vasant, year two, the only access to medical care was a primary health center. This project was a collaboration between Jindal, a steel and power company located near the area, who provided the funding, government health workers who were trained to deliver the program, and a local organization, a senior citizens group, who provided the venue to conduct the program. Our tribal project is in two villages in Kaprada, a predominantly hilly area. Each village has a population of around 3,000 people. For this project, we collaborated with a charitable trust who provided us with community health workers. These workers who were involved in maternal and child care indicated willingness to be part of our program. Our learnings from our work in the community. Each community is different, and our first step had to be an understanding of the social, cultural, and political environment. We also learned that we could not work in isolation. We needed to collaborate with other organizations, formal or informal. Involving the community develops interest and ownership of the program, a key step towards sustainability. Finally, that even in an urban slum or a tribal community living in the most difficult terrain, there are available resources. Through identification, development, and utilization, any program is achievable. Our team, our motto. Thank you.